Okay, so what we're doing is we're putting together evidence, and we're going to present it to our physician, and we're going to say, this is all the facts that we've gathered. This is data. It cannot be argued. You're going to use this, please, to help you, to assist you in making a diagnosis, and then after the diagnosis, the appropriate treatment. So we don't want to start saying like calling the doctor stupid or anything. We just want to say, maybe they made a mistake, maybe they overlooked something, but we're going to try to put as much facts and proof together that we can for them, that they can, and then if they want to turn a blind eye to the actual proof again, then there may have to be, you might have to see a lawyer or something, because eventually you can't have, if you're sick and it's not fair to just to be living and sick and feeling completely run down and ill, and and all these things are happening to your body, your spine and your migraines, and your eyes hurt, and you get sores in your mouth and a rash on your crotch and all these different things. You shouldn't have to live like that. Nobody should have to live like that. This is the year 2015. There's modern medicine. There's everything else, and so, and I've been to over 10 doctors, like I said, and I haven't gotten anywhere. Maybe my condition is something that's uncommon, and that's why they've struggled to diagnose me. So I don't want to start saying they're stupid or anything, but what I'm just trying to do is trying to help them to be able to, give them something to go off of when I go in there, and like a foundation. I'm trying to lay a foundation here. Okay, so we got this. This is getting incubated. Okay, we're incubating this for like 25 days, okay? And it's going to be incubated at 80 degrees. Now, how do I know it's going to stay at 80 degrees? Because my grandma has a heater in our kitchen, okay? And that heater keeps an area next to the heater at 80 degrees. I took a thermometer and I set it there for a week. And every time I looked at it, the heater constantly stays on. Every time I looked at the thermometer, it was 80 degrees, 80 degrees. So that, it's like a foot and a half away from the heater. So that area right there never changes temperature. It always stays at 80 degrees. So we're going to have this at a constant 80 degrees, okay? And I'm going to, we'll go set that there in a few minutes. Okay, so then we got that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is like I said, we're going to come back in 3 weeks. I can't keep this video running for 3 weeks and just, have it on the box. I can't do that, because I don't have a 3-week long tape. But if I could do that, I would do that, because then it would be right out of my body onto there, into the incubation area. And then there really could be, but now they could come up with some kind of crazy, but it would be just insanity for them to suggest that the sample didn't come from my body after all the stuff that I'm going through. But, they have been known, that's what they've been doing. Okay, so I guess that's just about it. We did every single sample. The samples are all clean. Everything was, whatever grows in those cultures is out of my body. That's a clue. Like Sherlock Holmes. You're trying to find out, why everything is going on and bad. Why you don't feel well. So why I don't feel well. So I got the microscope here. We can look at some of the ones, the semen sample, because that's interesting. And then we'll look at the blood just to verify that, to try to verify that it was for me. Just to prove that this right here is actually semen, and that this went onto those cultures, and the junk that grows on those cultures shouldn't be there. Okay, so we're going to take a clean slide right from the manufacturer, completely clean, crystal clear. Okay, so we're going to put that slide right there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this. We're going to take this slide. We're going to take our bubble there. Okay. Now we're going to seal that back up. A little container there. There's specimen sample. Now we're going to take a cover slip. Again, cover slip coming right out of the box right here. Okay, I'm going to set this down here. I'm going to take our cover slip. I'm going to take our cover slip out of here. Brand new cover slip, crystal clear. There's a bubble right there, but I don't think that'll. Okay, now we're just gonna. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna put that under the microscope. And we're gonna look at that. See right here. Here's the microscope. This is blood that I was looking at. But we'll save that for later. Okay, now we're going to zoom in here. Okay, now I took, what I did was I took a sample or a video already, okay, and I put it on YouTube. Like I said, the probation guy, Jim Featherston, told me, how do we know that's from you? Well, now you know it's from me because you can see me putting it under the microscope. You know, I'm not going to go to the step of having you watch me extract it out of my body because I think that's unnecessary. I don't think I have to go to that extreme. You've seen it. There's nobody else in this house except for my grandma. And so there's no possible way that couldn't have come from me, okay? So I think it's reasonable that I don't have to go to that extreme, but you know it's from me. And what I did was I put it on YouTube, and there was like this squid creature inside microorganism swimming around in my seminal fluid. You know, and you can see the spermatozoa and what they look like, and then you can see all kinds of other stuff floating around that's not supposed to be there. You can see little circular things. You can see little like, things with these squiggly flagella, they're called, and they're swimming through there, and other stuff that's not supposed to be there, and that could be a clue, another clue as to what is making me ill. And like, to be honest, what I really believe from all the research that I've done over the years, because it's been years that I've lived with this, the research that I've done is that I believe that I'm suffering from more than one disease. I mean, I believe that I have a fungal infection. I believe that I have a bacterial infection, and I believe that I have radical viruses, radical agents in my system. And you can see, well, anyway, this is proof that really came from me. Now I can record this. And that's what I did. I recorded and I put it on YouTube. So I put it on YouTube just as proof, to set a date. Like, on this date, this was in my system. Here's the proof, okay? I got this microscope about a month and a half ago, maybe a month ago. But I started doing the research right away. And I had to wait to get the cultures. So now I'm going to have to wait another 3 weeks. But when the cultures are out of incubation, we're going to look at we'll have a sterilized razor blade. I'm going to take a little bit of it and I'm going to put it on a slide, and we're going to look at each culture under the microscope of whatever was growing, whether it's the mold, whether it's the fungus stuff, the big white fungus in the blood, and whatever is growing, we're gonna look at under the microscope and see what it is, and hopefully, and we're gonna put that all in a PowerPoint. And then we're gonna put that on a flash drive, and when we go see our doctor, I'll try to find an infectious disease doctor, but the way they have it set up, the system is you have to see a primary doctor first. So maybe I'll just go to the emergency room and give the flash drive to the doctor and say, look, I'm really sick, which I am, and wouldn't be a lie, and it is an emergency, because I think as long as I've had this, I think that I could die any day. I have pains in my chest. I have other serious symptoms. My spine hurts from my tailbone to the back of my head. I have severe pain in my esophagus, and I don't know what they're all related to, but it's just really just real unhealthy, and I would like to regain my health, even if I had something, they could give me something to improve my quality of life. So that's that. We'll put the blood under the microscope too, just to show that that it's me. Okay, now the blood, what I seen in the blood is I seen these tiny little little parasites floating around the red blood cells, and it's kind of tough to see in the camera, okay, right now, but you can see, but if you look directly at the camera, the microscope camera, if you're looking directly onto the screen and you're not looking through that camera onto the screen, it's much easier to see. So the I'm gonna open this up. The idea. Okay, so the point is that the blood came from me, and it's on there. I didn't get it from an internet somewhere. It's from this microscope that you see right here. Okay, and it's this cord right here connects to the, see this? See the cord? See how I'm moving the cord and see? There you go. So there's no deception there. There's no deception. it's this microscope onto that screen, and it's really my blood, and I really have a disease, and I'm really sick, okay? And I believe it's a disease that's threatening my life, not just my well-being, but my very life. It's going to cut my life short. I don't think that I've done anything in my life. I know I haven't done anything that would deserve to have my life systematically shortened because either doctors are unwilling to diagnose me or possibly incompetent and are unable to because they don't know what they're doing. Or maybe they do know what they're doing and, I don't know. But it's a fine line because I don't want to start, when you start making allegations like they're trying to cover up, I'm sick and they're trying to cover up. If I start doing that, then they sound paranoid, they get defensive, so I don't say that. But what I will say is that they haven't been able to diagnose me. I've seen over 10 of them, and it seems unlikely to me that I would see over 10 doctors and that they would run all these tests on me and they would always tell me the same thing. You're imagining everything. There's nothing wrong with you and you're mentally ill, or they would give me heartburn medication or something like that, which is ridiculous and it's nonsense. It's not fair. I would never do that to anyone, any of my fellow man. I would, if I was a physician, the Hippocratic Oath, and I would do everything in my power to make somebody better that's ill. I would never try to cover up their illness or even tell them that they're mentally ill. That they've told me that, oh, you're mentally ill. You haven't exhausted all of the resources that you have at your disposal to try to diagnose me. Why would you all of a sudden say I'm mentally ill right away before even running, so you run a couple of tests, a blood workup, and now all of a sudden you have nothing and you're imagining everything and you're mentally ill without actually, well, so what we're doing is we're putting together proof for these. We're going to try to put together our own proof. That way, there's a foundation that can't be denied. And then if they turn a blind eye, then we'll have no choice. We'll have to see an attorney and a lawyer, and But if it's up to me, I would just as soon rather have them diagnose me. Say, Mr. Witzlib, we're able to diagnose you. Or maybe even an apology. Mr. Witzlib, we're sorry, we made a mistake. I've made mistakes. I can admit when I've made mistakes, I wish I can go back and change things in my life, but I can't. But it seems like some of these high prestigious people will not admit that they made a mistake. They won't say, oh, Mr. Witzlib, psychiatrist, whoever they may be, they just won't admit it. They just won't say, Mr. Witzlib, we were wrong. We made a mistake. You actually have an infectious disease. You're not mentally ill. You're really sick, and we're gonna help you, and we're gonna treat you for your condition. Now, if they just said that to me, I would be like, wow, thank you. I would be like, I would be like, all is forgiven, and I go on and I live my life, and I'm treated, and the bacteria that's in my semen is eradicated, and if there's a virus, then I just go on drugs to suppress it, and I live my life that way, and I have to deal with it, but at least I'll have my quality of life will be improved. I'll feel healthier, but that's not what's happening right now. Right now, there's still a huge denial, and I still have these government people telling me that I'm crazy, that there's nothing wrong with me. But then I have evidence like this where I have fuzzy mold growing on from a specimen of my mouth and my semen, and then I have urine and I have blood. I have greenish fungus and white fungus from my blood and my urine, and Then I got, and and then it looks like there's bacterial colonies. This is my semen and this is my mouth, and it looks like there's bacteria that's growing, nasty bacteria. It's just not, it's affecting other parts of my life, and it's making me sick, and I am sick, and I'm desperate. You can tell that I'm sounding like I'm having some anxiety, but if you took a culture and you found, and there's a big blotch of white fungusy mold fuzzy stuff that came out of your blood, and then you have all this which appears to be like bacteria, okay, and that came out of your urine and everywhere else, and you're feeling really sick and your spine hurts and you get migraine headaches and you have insomnia and you can't sleep, you haven't had a good night's sleep in years, okay, you would, and you feel like you're starting to go insane for real, but not insane because you're mentally ill, insane because you have an organic disease infesting your entire body and your brain. And when you can see little mites in your blood, like little motile bacteria, it makes you, it does make you have psychological, it, I mean, who wouldn't? Of course you're going to have some anxiety, you know. But I'm not having anxiety because I'm imagining something, because I'm a psychosomatic, you know, basket case. I'm having anxiety because I really feel ill, and the doctors are telling me, no, you're crazy. You don't have pain. Yeah, I have pain. I feel sick, you know. And so we'll put the PowerPoint together, and and then we'll do everything in our power. You know, I'm trying to empower myself here because I was at my wit's end. I mean, this is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. It's I can tell I have chest pains in my heart. It's probably a vascular disease. I think it's affecting my blood vessels. You know, it's causing me like inflammation of like my brain, and I can feel when parts of my body become inflamed because of this disease. Or what disease is? It's probably more than one thing. I think because I seen the little squid type creature in my seminal fluid, and then I see the tiny little mites. Now those are two different things. The tiny little mites around the red blood cells are different than they're a different organism than the 4 or 5 legged or squid creature that I put on YouTube that was in my seminal fluid. And I know there's a bunch of them in there, and that wasn't the only one. That's just the one that was just the star of the show that day, because that's the one I happened to be seeing and looking. I put on up there, but it's not really funny, and I try to make light of the situation, but it's really almost like a nightmare. And then we're gonna cut it off there, and we'll pick it up in 25 days after that stuff is incubated, and then we're gonna look at it under the microscope, and we'll pick it up there.